Hello, welcome to the Penno channel. I'm here with my bro Ads to give a match preview for Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa at the City Ground on Sunday. Bro, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. Looking forward to another Sunday Villa match and just hoping again we get another win. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm not feeling the best, but I've got to come here and get this done. Want to talk about the game and what we're expecting from the game. It's going to be interesting. Villa, for a long time, have had a full week off to prepare for a game. No League Cup involvement after that performance against Everton at home. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Unai comes up with. As it is his birthday today, is it? I think it's his
Yeah,
birthday.
yeah, his birthday today, but
So
no celebrations if we don't win, he said. So
yeah, no doubt he's been grafting on his birthday as well. So fully expect us to perform on Sunday. Going into the game, what are your thoughts then? First, talk about Forest and how they've been getting on this season.
yeah, I think their record at home is actually quite impressive. I think you've got the stats up for what the record actually is, but they don't really lose a lot at home. And I think the only two losses were to Liverpool and Manchester City, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but
Yeah, so I think in the last 19 games at home, they've only lost to City and Liverpool. Okay, they've drawn a lot, and I think they've drawn the majority over the last 6 months, except for they got a victory against Sheffield United at home. But their other victory was against Chelsea away. I remember watching that game.
yeah.
Great goal from Elanga.
Yeah, that was a great goal. I think I was seeing some Forest fans say like the synergy between their fans and the players was a lot better last season, atmosphere wise, but it's still intense and they play compact under Cooper. And when they really get going, yeah, man, they can be difficult to break down, I think.
Yeah, last season in particular, their home record and home form was really good, and you did feel that synergy in the ground. All the Forest fans were together. Even if you watched them on TV, you saw, the banners, the flags, the crowd was loud for whatever game. I remember that game against Arsenal when they beat them, when Arsenal were trying to go for the title and all but confirmed that they'd miss out, and they were just all together and on it. And I feel like this game Sunday, Midlands teams, okay, it's not a derby, but Midlands teams, Villa are flying at the minute. They'll be looking to get their crowd really up and on it and at them. And yeah, it'll be a difficult game, I think. I think tough place to go to get all 3 points.
Yeah, just some team news on Forest. I think Awoni is back for the game, is it?
Yeah.
Awoni is
He-
back for the game, so I think that'll be a
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah, I was just
I
going to
think that'll
say,
be a massive.
I saw him.
That'll
I
be a
saw
massive.
him.
Because Chris Ward, although he did score the other day, I do think Awoni is a lot better player. He's more of a threat, and he can probably do more damage than Woodward against that centre backs.
Yeah, I agree. Chris Wood, he got those two against Luton at home. I saw that game when Luton came back. Um, Against Liverpool, no, Liverpool went ahead, but when Awoniyi came on, he did change the game for me. He's such a threat. He had a really good XG, I think, towards the end of last season. The start of this one, he was on fire. Um, he's pivotal to how they play. And I've seen a few Forest fans talking about they'd be looking to get him 60 minutes minimum in this game.
Yeah,
So I expect him to start with Wood's injury. Yeah, he's really pivotal to the way they play, and I think Morgan Gibbs-White plays a lot better off Awoniyi than he does against Chris Wood because Awoniyi's got great movement and ability to hold up the ball as well as he can score goals. I think Chris Wood's a bit more static, good at the set piece, even though
yeah,
Awoniyi is a good target as well. And from what I've been seeing of the way they set up, Morgan Gibbs-White's been operating more off the right in a free with Elanga off the left.
yeah,
Um, I imagine they might revert back to Morgan Gibbs-White playing just behind Awoniyi and Elanga off the left, and Hudson-Odoi's out, isn't he? So there's no Hudson-Odoi for Forest either. So yeah, it'll be interesting. They've had such an influx of players over the last 2 seasons. Signed, I think it was 13, 14 signings in the summer. Um, I think they're just waiting for them to flourish. You've got Ibrahim Sangara, who very highly rated player from PSV. Number of clubs are after him. He was linked to us at points last year. Really good player when he's on it. he can be a quality player. Uh, but I think he's just waiting to find his feet within the team. I know Murillo, the centre back, he's played really well. When I watch him, he's really good on
He's
the
very
ball.
good on the ball, like driving
Yeah,
the ball forward. Nice bit of footwork to get past his man.
yeah, he is. He's a really good player on the ball, and that shows a change in how Steve Cooper and Forest probably want to play. They want to probably be a bit more ball dominant, especially at home. And I don't know if they're trying to usher certain players like your Worrells, your McKennas out of the side. They've got Niakate, they've got Willy Bolly there as well. So they've got a number of centre backs there. It's just how will Steve Cooper be looking to operate against us? Will he be more defensive and let us play, which I think he will. I think they'll sit back a bit more, let us play with the ball because they've seen
Yeah,
how ball dominant we've been, and then try and break on us because we've seen it against Arsenal. They scored a very good transition goal. Chelsea, they
yeah.
scored a very good transition goal. They're very good on the counter, especially when Awanyi's playing. So that's
Well, that's
how
the
that's
thing.
how I think they'll go.
Transitions is their game because Awani is such a good outlet. Like he can make the channel runs, he can hold up the play, he can play off of his back, holding the play up, like I said, and just yeah, be the outlet, get him up the pitch. And with Elanga on that side as well, he's rapid, and he's got the footwork to match as well. So and yeah, touching on Morgan Gibbs White as well, he's a player that I admire a lot, man. I really do rate him. You could argue he's been a bit unlucky to not have more goal returns this season. His underlying numbers are really good. He's still creative and yeah, really good player. So we'll have to have Louise and Kamara trying to nullify his involvement as much as possible. And I think if you do nullify Morgan Gibbs White a bit, you can kind of control their attack in a way. So yeah, that'll be important. And I'm sure Emery's probably scheming on how to stop him.
Yeah, he's a source of their attacks. He's a quality player. Um, for the fee they paid for him, it kind of looks like the right price, maybe a bit of a bargain in sense. But they paid for Wolves. I think he's really is a quality player. He's great at
Yeah.
the Euros in the summer as well for the under 21s, and I think he'll just go on to better things, whether that be at Forest or elsewhere. I think he's a quality player. So moving on to us then, how do you see us lining up? Is it the same? Does Diego Carlos come in? What are your thoughts? Does Leon Bailey come in for Zaniolo? What are your thoughts on that?
I think we'll set up the same. I think it'll be 4-4-2 on paper, and then the three back on the ball with the wing backs, and then the two tens, and then Watkins, and then see it's interesting because against Luton, when Zaniolo starts, Kamara plays right centre back, and McGinn and Louise were the centre mids with Digne and Cash as the wing backs. But when Bailey starts, Bailey went to wing back, Kamara went to DM, and Cash was right centre back. So I think it will be interesting just to see who starts out of Zaniolo and Bailey and just seeing how that impacts the rest of the team and the rest of the roles required from them.
Yeah, I feel like we'll probably operate the same. If especially for Langer, he's that directness and that pace, and we might want McGinn operating off the right. Or if it's not the case, then we play Matty Cash higher and bring Diego Carlos in. I think their left hand side will be the danger, especially on transitions with Alanga, whereas Morgan Gibbs White likes to play with the ball a bit more. So yeah, I feel like I agree. I think we'll set up the same as we did against Luton and just be a bit more compact. But I wouldn't be surprised if Diego Carlos comes in for a Zaniolo and we shuffle the pack around. McGinn goes to the left, Cash goes further forward, and Konza goes right back.
I
And
just really hope that our attacking prowess that we show at home can be displayed at Forest. Like, why not? Why can't we dominate the ball like we do, which I expect? But I really want us to be fluid in attack. I want to see the combo play. I want to see the balls over the top. I want to see quick football because we can do it at home. We've shown that we can do it at home against anyone. But away from home, I always get this feeling that it doesn't quite connect as much as I'd like to.
Mhm.
So yeah, so really just really hoping we can be on form and that the play is quick because I thought the football in our last away game against Wolves in the Premier League, we were moving the ball a bit slow. So yeah, I'd want to see an
Yeah,
improvement on that.
and it'll be interesting from their side as well if they start Matt Turner because he's been very shaky of recent times. And if he does start, I think Watkins, Bailey, Watkins, DRB, Bailey, if he does start, McGinn, Douglas Luiz. put it on him straight away because he's been a bit shaky of recent times. Conceded a very weird goal against Liverpool at Anfield. Um, I won't be shocked if he doesn't start, but if he does, we need to really stick it on him from early because we can get at them from there. And it'll be interesting to see if Forest do start with a back four. I know it depends how Steve Cooper sees us and what he expects from us because I could see him quite easily setting up with a three, but also if they play with a four, that brings a Sergio Aurier into the fold. They've got a number of
Yeah.
fullbacks that can play there. I think their
I think
three in the
Tavares,
centre will be. Yeah, I
Tavares
think
might be back
Tavares
in
is
it.
injured. Is he?
I
Is he
think
not
he's
still
back now,
injured?
though. I think he might be back. Yeah, yeah. I think I did see him like not flagged as being like okay to play now, so we'll see with that.
Yeah, Tavares, Aurier, Nico Williams. There's quite a number of their players there at fullback that they've signed who a decent standard. So it will be interesting. But I think their three will be Mangala, Sangara, and then that Dominguez as well. I think he's probably been one of their better players this season so far.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Good player.
yeah, really good player. And then it'll be Morello and then one of Bolly, McKenna, Worrell. They've got a number of centre backs that can Niakate, so or they might go free. So it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see how Steve Cooper lines up against us.
Yeah.
Does he
Just a
back
word
Forest at home?
just a word on Sangare. Like as good as he is, I do like him on the ball and that he can be prone to an error in the build up when receiving. So if Watkins Diaby's on him, then there is a chance for us to maximize any loose touch that he's showing or any lack of confidence on the ball. I remember watching him against Rangers. I think it was earlier this season in the Champions League qualifiers, and one of their goals came from his mistake in the build-up play receiving from the goalkeeper. So, yeah, get on him, and then
Yeah.
just hopefully we can press and just force an error and take advantage. But yeah,
I don't think they'll play that. I've got a feeling they'll try and pull it on us, especially Pau Torres. They'll try and get Awoniyi working in and around Pau Torres, and it's whether he's capable of matching him. I think they'll try and play off Awoniyi, even if he's got 60 minutes in him. Just get Morgan Gibbs White as close as he can, and Alanga as well around him because he's such a pivotal player for them. I mean, I really do rate him as a striker. So yeah, it's going to be interesting for us. It's a side that just don't seem to lose too many games at home, but don't seem to win too many either. So they'll be going there expecting to get a victory. Well, looking to get a victory, not expecting, should I say. We're going there looking to get all 3 points and continue our momentum. There's some big games tomorrow. You've got Arsenal versus Newcastle. I think Liverpool, Man City will be looking to take all 3 points, but then you've also got Spurs versus Chelsea on Monday. So there's
yeah,
two very big games where could be a toss of a coin. I know Spurs in great form, but Chelsea, it's a London derby. You don't know, so it could be a real big opportunity for us to make some ground on Spurs and even Arsenal because going to St James's Park, we know how it is, and they'll be fully at it against Arsenal. So it could be a really big opportunity, and it's 3 points anyway. So we'll be looking to build momentum after this game going into Fulham. So yeah,
yeah. I
it's
think
going to be.
just that from our recent one, I do think this game is one where like I am just a bit more anxious for. Just can we go to Forest with their record and play the football we can? We all know that we can play and get the 3 points. It's a big game, man, honestly, and I just want us to keep the momentum, man. Because going into that Fulham at home, that's a game I'll be a lot more confident for.
Yeah, for sure. And last season under Gerrard, it wasn't a great spectacle, was it? I mean, Ashley
Oh
took
well,
Ashley
I
on to
didn't
score a
watch it. I was that,
screamer,
yeah.
and
I
that
was
was it.
honestly, I was that disillusioned with Villa and the football we were playing. I don't think I watched the first half. I was out
Yeah,
somewhere. I think I was playing football, and I thought, no, I'm not rushing back to watch
yeah,
Gerard
yeah,
ball and how bad it was. So yeah, hopefully, completely different environment this Sunday.
yeah, for
Different,
sure, for sure. And
different
hopefully,
football as well.
I was watching, the 3-0 Courtney House goal, McGinn brace that game in the Championship.
Oh, right mid McGinn,
Yeah, unbelievable finishes from McGinn in that game. So
skinny McGinn. He
hoping
looks
to
a
see him.
completely different player now.
He does. He does look like he looks a lot skinnier back in his champ days.
I know.
I don't know. I don't know if he's got looser kits there back then, or he's just put on weight now.
Trust me.
It's hard to know what size
I
he's
think
at.
he would say looser kits, but
Yeah, I think he would as well. He'd say them Luke kicks had a bit more movement in them.
Yeah.
And that was a pivotal game in our run, the 10-game unbeaten, well, winning run. And we're trying to replicate that currently, not winning as such, but because of the Wolves game, but we're trying to replicate going on a really good run with some very good fixtures right now. And this is another game where we're trying to get those 3 points from it. So yeah, enough of the game now. Just a few more things been seeing. Thoughts on the talk of Unai Emery this past week? Feels like it's the first real big week that the media have paid attention to what Villa are doing after the 12 wins in a row at home. The position in the league being 5 points clear of six. What are your thoughts regarding, certain media outlets' comments as well as Jamie Carragher's article today with some choice words by Carragher talking about if a big Champions League club come in, then they might find Villa have some offers that are hard to resist, while Unai Emery might have an offer that's hard to resist from there.
Yeah. Firstly, I don't really get offended by the talk. I feel like if you're a winning team in the Premier League and you're winning games to amount of the amount of dominance that we're doing, then it's always going to come with the territory. Like people are going to see our success and start saying things. On Unai at Villa, I don't think people are actually realizing the amount of power he has at Villa. Like the whole board, everything is suited to him and his needs. He's been able to bring in his own guy in Monchi. The scout that came in, Benito, that's his guy. He has Vidagani, who's been promoted to a role quite high up at Villa, who's his who used to be his translator when he was at Villarreal or Valencia, and now he's just a guy who advises him on players, other kinds of stuff, communication. So yeah, Emery is not getting this type of power anywhere else. It's unprecedented, and I do think it would be hard to give up. I think, in my opinion, the only club I could see tempting him, because he's been on record saying he'd go there before, is Real Madrid, genuinely. So yeah, I don't think it's anything to worry about, really.
Yeah, I agree. I'm no way at all worrying. I find it quite jokes that for a man who's been ridiculed for so long in the British media for all sorts of reasons, really. Now he's starting to get positive press. He's starting to be linked with other clubs. I just find that's really funny. Hasn't really been given time to settle about how good Villa are doing. It's about can we link him to different clubs around the league. So
I feel
yeah,
it's been bombed. I feel we've got our praise personally.
oh,
I feel it's been a mixture of both.
I agree. We've got our praise recently, but what I'm stating is there's certain managers. Okay, if I take Eddie Howe for instance, and Newcastle, who have been in the media public eye for a long time now. I don't really see Eddie Howe's name get linked to other jobs. Maybe the England job, that's about it. I don't
Yeah.
hear him getting into other jobs in the league. But for with the recognition for how many points he's accumulated, it's only started over the last 1-2 weeks. It going into real mainstream media, and I just find it funny that all of a sudden you've been linked to other jobs within the league. It just yeah, it's a bit different to what I've been seeing with Newcastle, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that was an interesting article from Carragher today, who I do think likes Villa, but I don't know. There's just
It is a bit of a
some
just like,
words that
oh,
were
just
used. There were some words
it's a
used
bit of
to
allow
grab
me,
your
and it like
attention. Yeah,
you're
yeah,
getting like finally enjoying the games, and like someone's just like Emery, people are going to
yeah.
be looking at Emery to go grab him. It's just like, okay, allow me. But yeah, I just tend not to get too like invested in
Nah,
that kind of thing. And
nah. Other things. Any other news that you've got, bro? Anything else that you've seen over the past
probably
week?
just wishing Hugo Egiag um a happy birthday, man. I think he would have
Hmm.
been 51. I think it said so. Yeah, League Cup winner and a real great player for Aston Villa. So yeah.
Yeah, big up, you go, and RIP.
Other thing, what's your opinion on the backroom staff at Villa leaving for Spurs reportedly? Johan Lang, Rob McKenzie, the scout, and then Frederick Leff, I think he is head of research at Villa. Do you have any opinions on that?
So yeah, it's a big change. I know. It looks like Monchi had his team pre-planned in summer and brought in Alberto Benito, who's looking after the recruitment side of things, along with Monchi. Um, it's what you assign what signings were made under their regime and linked to who, which were Gerrard signings, which were
Yeah.
signings made by McKenzie and Lang and their team. It's an interesting one because you see some bargains in there. You've got Boubacar Kamara on a free, Moussa Diaby this season, impressive. Pau Torres, you know, even Lang, Emi Martinez times, Ollie Watkins, Matty Cash, are all staple members of the first 11 now.
I think Devan as well. You can pretty much put to the
Yeah,
data team. That
yeah,
definitely felt like
definitely.
one of them.
And that felt like one that was, really looked at for a long time in a different league. In a league you wouldn't really sign any players from. And I think I can only remember Almiron really, who's come from the MLS direct to the Premier League and been a first team regular or, made an impact in the
Yeah,
Premier League. So that was a bit of a different strategy and approach. But yeah, it's I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest, because we're not that deep in the club and don't understand who's been attributed to what and who's done what.
the
But
lines are
what
a
I
bit
can,
blurred, aren't they? Because we
yeah,
don't really have all access to information on who we can like put with each player with each man in charge.
but what I can say is that after Suso and staying in the league, and Douglas Luiz was a big Suso signing. We've now signed players who have progressed the club, albeit we had the year with Gerrard, but the players that have been brought in are now progressed the club from survival of relegation to top five and looking to push for Champions League places. So they've got to have a hand in that. So they have done a good job in that sense because,
Yeah,
albeit Emery has done a lot for the club, and he has done a lot for the club and the team, there's still players that have been recruited under their watch that have really helped us to expand and play the football that we're playing today. So yeah, I think Tottenham have got three good names there. I know Rob McKenzie was previously at Spurs. He was involved in the Sun deal, wasn't he, all those years ago?
and Alderweireld
So,
as well. I think.
yeah, he did Toby Alderweireld, yeah. So for them, it's a familiar face under Levy. I think he's been there the whole time since Robert McKenzie was last there. Well, he definitely has. So
Yeah,
it's a familiar face, and they're bringing in two guys who, from what I hear, have had a real impact at Villa, and especially in the recruitment department. We've got a very vast recruitment structure that other teams have been looking into and and have been trying to emulate. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah, interesting. We just see it's exciting to see what Monchi and his team have planned now and how we go moving forward.
I
Do
hope
we?
so. I do hope. Yeah, I do hope it is a lot better than what we've had before. Just to touch on them guys, though, I do think it was always expected McKenzie and Left will go because they are Lange's guys. They've been comfortable working with each other. I think the fact they have gone to Spurs is probably testament that they are respected within the industry and they have done a lot of good work. So yeah, let's just see how they progress. And whoever Spurs are linked to now, you'll know that we probably would have been after them
Yeah,
anyway. So
exactly. And the judgment on Monchi's at hold at the minute because I feel that the summer signings were rushed in the sense, especially the loans. I feel like they were rushed in the sense it was just familiarity with Lenglet
right,
and
the
Zaniolo.
Zaniolo one, we know he has a strong relationship with him. So that
Yeah, the
was
players he's previously signed before, and I think Lenglet's come in and done well in the games he's played in. Um, Zaniolo is still up and down for me. Sometimes I think he's a well beaten, sometimes I don't. So he needs more time to bed in, and we'll see how he goes. For me personally, but yeah, Monchi will be judged more January and the summer coming up and future windows to see what his recruitment strategy is, and it's going to be really interesting, um, especially if it's Spanish department. I think there's a number of really really good players that Villa could acquire through
yeah.
La Liga and that
Well, it is
side of
going to
it.
be very La Liga based focused, isn't it? I think the level of players, and there are ballers in La Liga, man. Like we've
There's
just
a
seen
lot of those.
Kangin Lee, who went to PSG from Mallorca. There were links to Villa. He scored tonight, so
Mm.
there are ballers and gems around in La Liga. But I do
Yeah,
hope the
we've
focus isn't just on one league. I don't think that would be like the smartest thing, and I'm sure it
no,
won't be. I would like
no.
us to still look across the top five leagues. I mean, we've had links to Portugal, Sporting Lisbon winger. So yeah, hopefully hopefully it's across more than just one league.
Yeah, and Monchi was renowned back in Sevilla, part of his Roma days, for French talent,
Yeah,
Ligue 1 talent, and maybe was I don't know, the whereabouts or if he was involved in the deals we did this summer. But it would be interesting to see if he does dip into League One because again, there's just a lot of talent in that league, and you know, a number of
yeah.
clubs really go and get a lot of players from that league, especially young
There's an
talent. So
there's
it'd
an
be
abundance
interesting.
of talent in League One, in it.
Mm, mm,
It's actually
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. So interesting times indeed. But let's concentrate on the here and now. 3 points at the City Ground. That's what we need. That's what we're
Do you
looking
have a
to get.
score prediction?
No, I don't. But do you?
Don't do the score
We'll keep
predictions.
it.
Yeah,
We'll keep it
I'm
the
gonna
same as
go.
last week.
I know I got the 3-1, 3-1 correct. I got the Diaby scoring his first Villa Park goal. I was quite proud of that. But I'm gonna go 2-1 Aston Villa. I think it's gonna be 1-1 for a long time in the game, and I think around the 70th we'll nick it. Goal scorers, I'm gonna go with Konza, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with Watkins.
Okay.
That's my
Well, I
prediction.
hope
So
Ollie gets one as well because he's still in my fantasy team. So need
I
him,
know he let you
need him to
down
get one
against
after
Leeds.
last weekend. Yeah, need him to get one this weekend. Maybe do more. Get an assist as well, Ollie, while you're at it. But yeah, uh, a whole big weekend of football. It's huge. If we get the 3 points, it's huge. It's
Oh, it's
massive,
massive.
and you could be looking at extending the gap between Newcastle. I know Brighton are right there as well, but
Yeah.
it could be massive. So yeah, let's hope we get it done. I'm sure Unai's really prepped them and they're ready to go for Sunday. Anyway, bro, thanks for joining me on this quick preview for the Forest game. Anything else or?
Nah, just enjoyed this as always. I love talking about Villa at the moment. Everything's very, very positive. So yeah, hopefully 3 points on Sunday. Come on, Villa.
Yeah, long may it continue. Again, well, I didn't mention this earlier, but if you could drop a comment if you got a comment to say, I always respond to them. So does my bro as well. If you could share the video as well, get the message out there, what we're talking about, and also drop a subscription as well because that helps us out to grow the channel. So anyway, thanks guys, and speak to you for the match reaction after the game. Up the Villa.